Hey everybody, it's Angelina. So today I'm super excited because today we're going to be talking about the Tortured Poets Department TRACKLIST. I am just so excited. I did not think we would get it this soon. I know we got it because it was unfortunately leaked, which I really wish people would not do. But I mean, we got it, but now we have like 2 months to like just sit with these titles. So I want to go through and tell you what I think each song will be about purely based on title, and also afterwards I want to kind of get into some other stuff because I have like a couple more theories and stuff that I kind of like figured out and stuff since my last video that I made the day after Taylor announced it. So let's just get into the track list first. So first is Fortnite featuring Post Malone. So I think it's important to remember that Post Malone has been going country lately. Like, he's been making a lot of country music. Well, he's been collabing with a lot of country artists and covering a lot of country songs. And his last album, which I didn't listen to, but when I found out he was on this album, I went back and I went to the album and I just listened to a couple snippets just to see what he's been doing lately, and it's very pop. It's kind of like soft pop, almost like a country pop type thing. So I really think that this song could sound a little like something off of his album, especially considering I'm pretty sure that the person who produced this song is the guy who usually produces for Post Malone. And just like Fortnite, obviously everyone thinks of the game, but obviously it is not that. Fortnite means 2 weeks, so I think it could be something that's like, I've been waiting for you for 2 weeks, or it's been 2 weeks since we broke up. It was rumored, I don't know for sure, but it was rumored that Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn broke up 2 weeks into the Eras tour, so that might have something to do with it. But yeah, this one, I don't know, she could use a Fortnite, like the word, for anything, so I don't know for sure, but that's my guess. Number 2 is the Tortured Poets Department, a title track. I love when we get title tracks. I did not expect us to get a title track for this album. I think the song could possibly be about her being known as kind of the sad girl. Like, she's kind of known as the girl who like writes sad songs, writes breakup songs, and it would fit with her being the chairman of the Tortured Poets Department, as in like, I'm the head of like the sad girls, like of the torture artists. Like, I freaking like invented that shit. Like, she's the resident heartbreak girl. I feel like it could be kind of about something like that, about how she's always expected to like write sad songs and be sad and sing breakup songs and all that. Next is My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. When seeing this track title, I immediately thought of the Lorde lyric from Liability, I'm a toy that people enjoy till all the parts don't work anymore. I think that's the lyric. So I instantly thought of that. I also thought of in Toy Story when Andy, it's like I think it's more of like a dream sequence, but like when Andy like drops Woody, who's his favorite toy, and is like, I don't want to play with you anymore because because he's broken. Like, Woody's arm is ripped or something, and Woody, this is so crazy that I'm like, Taylor Swift from Toy Story, whatever, he breaks his arm, like his arm rips, and it makes Woody think that Andy is gonna be like, you're broke, I don't want to play with you anymore, and he like dramatically drops him to the ground. And so that's also where my mind went to. I think this song could be about how she gets built up just to get tore down. Like, people are so interested in her, like they're her favorite toy, but then they're like in her face so much, and so much attention is on her that she ends up breaking down, and then they end up leaving her even though they're the ones who did it to her. And I think that can be for the public eye or in a relationship where someone kind of like love bombing, which she did mention in the, I don't think it's the prologue, but what she posted when she posted the album, the little thing about tick 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 love bomb. So I think this song could be about love bombing and how maybe at the fall of the relationship he was trying to save it and he was love bombing her, or maybe she was love bombing him, I don't know. Or it could be about her tricking herself, or like convincing herself that him or someone being mean to her is a sign of love and stuff. Like, well, he's mean to me, but you know, kids only break their favorite toys, like he's only mean to me because I get, you know. So I think it could be something like that. Next is Down Bad. I feel like this is a song that's not going to be about what everyone thinks it's going to be about. She's going to take the term down bad and turn it into something else. Like, the obvious, like, guess for me that she can't bring herself to leave this person, even though she knows she should because she just loves them so much. Or it could be about having a crush where she's, like, willing to turn her whole life inside out for this person. Like, she's willing to do anything to, like, keep this person, even if it sacrifices, like, her own happiness and what she wants, which I think might be a theme throughout this album. Track 5 is So Long London. This track scares me. I feel like it could kind of be anything, but it is track 5, so it's gonna be like the vulnerable thing, the most vulnerable song. I think it's gonna be sad no matter what it's about. Like, it's track 5. I think this song could be about her saying goodbye to a place that she could consider, that she once considered her home, or that she thought was going to be her home, and like her kind of grappling or dealing with that, of the loss of not a person but a place, and like kind of like Cornelia Street, how she is like, if I lose you, I'll never walk Cornelia Street. I think this could be a thing of like, I'll never look at London the same, or like just like I'll never be able to enjoy London the way that I used to. So I'm like saying goodbye to like the London that I knew, or I'm saying goodbye to it because I will never be able to be there, like Cornelia Street. I also immediately thought of also the lyric, I can go anywhere I want, just not home. A similar vibe to that lyric. Also like leaving a life that was all set out for her, like someone offers you the world and you walk away from it for your own happiness and for what you want. So I think it could also be something like that. Next is But Daddy, I Love Him. Without a doubt, one of the ones I'm most excited for. I think it might be end up being one of the best songs on the album. I think this could be about people telling her to leave something because it's holding her back, but she just can't. Or like that she needs to like accept something, like it's done, like just accept it. It's like, I can't accept that, like her giving up stuff also to leave him, because obviously the Little Mermaid reference and stuff, like, is all about her giving up her voice to be with the guy, I guess, loosely. That's like a loosely what the movie's about. I think that movie's more about her giving up her voice so she can have an experience, not for a boy, but I think that's how a lot of people are interpreting this song is gonna be, is her giving up her voice for a guy. I don't know, but I think it could be like her giving up her like comfort in order to like make sure somebody else is comfortable. Like, I'm not comfortable, but I'm gonna change myself and so you can be comfortable. And I think it could be people telling her like, don't do that. and like everyone can see the bad in this relationship except her. And also the title kind of gives me country vibes, which I don't know what that means. I do want to get into like what I think the sound of this album might be, because it has kind of changed just from seeing things and stuff, but I'll get into that after. But I do think this title does very much give me country music. It gives me like early Taylor. Number 7 is Fresh Out the Slammer. I can already tell that this is going to be an underrated song. I guess it depends on whether or not it's good or not, obviously, but I can already tell like this is going to be an underrated one, in the same way that like So It Goes is like one that it's good, but people almost forget it exists, it almost seems like. Also, the title is super funny to me, what makes me think that it's going to be a gut-wrenching song, because I always think of like a joke, like I'm fresh out the slammer. Again, like more country, like these titles sound so country to me. I think this song could be about her dealing with waves of criticism and stuff. Like I feel like every couple of months there's a new Taylor hate wave. One is happening right now, and so I think it could be about her coming out of that and be like, I'm fresh out of this wave of criticism and stuff, and everyone loves me all of a sudden, but I know it's gonna come back around, like I'm gonna get put back in that jail almost. But it could also be that, but in a relationship, like constantly being criticized in a relationship and stuff, and when they finally stop doing that, you're like, okay, I'm freaking got out of that situation and stuff. I also immediately thought of the lyric, he could be my jailer, which if she makes a reference to that lyric in this song, I will disintegrate, like literally, because I loved that lyric when Ready For It first came out, and now in hindsight, like it's kind of a toxic lyric, because this song could also be about feeling hidden or locked away in a relationship, and her getting out and finally getting the chance to do what she wants, like in Getaway Car, like when she says like the smell of like the freedom on my face or something. I cannot think of the lyric right now. It was the first gate, the prison break, the smell of whatever, the prison break, anyway, I think of that. So, and now what if this song references Getaway Car? I wish I had the like track numbers for Reputation, because I feel like that might be telling. It also makes me think of the lyric, some boys take a beautiful girl and hide her away from the rest of the world. I want to be the one to walk in the sun, from the Cyndi Lauper song, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And I could see it being something like that also, and maybe a little bit more upbeat. Next, number 8 is Florida, with 4 exclamation points featuring Florence and the Machine. I am so excited for this song. I saw that and I immediately was like, Taylor, what the hell do you know about Florida? I find Florida to be such a fascinating place, so I'm interested to see what she has to say about it. A part of me feels like Florida's not even going to be said in the song. Like, if you know the song, like, Alaska by Maggie Rogers, where, like, the song kind of takes place there, but the place isn't mentioned at all. Like, I could see it being something like that. I hope not. I don't know why I want to hear Taylor say Florida so bad in a song. It could be about her wanting to escape and get as far away from something as possible. So she's like, I'm gonna go to Florida. Like, the farthest away she feels like she can get from this person is like by going to Florida. I also need to point out that her first show after the breakup was announced was in Florida, so I feel like that also is really telling. Maybe it'll be about her trying to get through the first performance, knowing that everyone like knows what happened. Or it could be about her trying to like brush stuff off in Florida, or maybe about her using performing to distract herself, or how hard it was to perform after the breakup, just in general, in any way, not even just on stage, just like having to be a person and function, knowing this whole world now knows that like you're relationship didn't work. I would like to think it's an ode to the movie The Florida Project, but I don't think it will be. Next, number 9 is Guilty as Sin ? This is one that I'm really like not that hyped for based off of the title, but I feel like usually when I say that, those end up being my favorite songs. Like the songs with the most simple titles end up actually becoming my favorite. I think this song could be about her getting blamed for shit she didn't do, and she's wondering why the hell she's getting blamed for it. I think of that like 50 Cent meme where he's like, fuck 50, why did I say fuck me for? And I kind of thought of that, of being like, what the fuck did I do? Why are you bringing me into the fucking conversation? Which I kind of wish she would do, because people love bringing her up in things that she has no reason to be brought up in. But I also think it could be maybe a girl, but getting blamed for all the problems in a relationship and kind of being like, you did this, and they're like, no, that, like maybe some gaslighting going on in the song, and kind of being like, you know, the person was shipping like, hey, like if you want this relationship to work out, you're gonna have to take all the blame. If you want to save this relationship, you need to say sorry, even though I'm the one who did something to you. I can see it being that. And like, because I like stand by the fact that Afterglow, like from Lover, is a pretty toxic song, so I feel like maybe a reference to that also on here, of being like, I don't want you to leave me, so I'm gonna take all the blame for this relationship, for the problems or this fight, even though I'm not the sole reason that we are fighting right now, or I didn't even do anything. Also, Guilty as Sin is a lyric in Carolina, and in Carolina, the Taylor Swift song from the movie, the lyric in it is literally the girl being accused of something, and her knowing that she's innocent, but everyone being like, no, you're a liar, like you did it, and she's just like, I didn't do it, but there's no way for me to, you guys just won't believe me, like there's nothing I can do, but I know I'm innocent. Number 10 is Who's Afraid of Little Ol' Me. This is the track I think I just have to claim, like I'm so excited for it. I find the like title super intriguing. Immediately thought of Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf, so I think it could be another Monster on the Hill moment, like how he made her feel like a burden and felt like she needed to go hide somewhere because she like was overpowering, or she took all the attention and stuff. So it's like, can you go somewhere and hide? Like, can you please, like, I don't want you here, like you take all the attention away because you come in and everyone's staring at you. And so I feel like it could be that type of thing. And she's like, why are you acting like people are like afraid of me or should be afraid of me? I saw that this could also be a reference to Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, which I definitely think it probably will be, or that movie will at least be referenced in the song. This movie also stars Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor, which, if you know Ready for It, again, Burton to this Taylor, like, they had a really tumultuous relationship in real life. They were constantly breaking up and getting remarried and stuff to each other. But like, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, I had to look it up. I've never watched the movie or read the book or seen the play or anything. But the gist I got was that it's pretty much about a couple having a huge fight in front of their like this other couple that they invite over, and they like are just fighting in front of this couple, and like in the play, like in each act, like act 1, act 2, or 3, the argument and the fighting just gets even worse. I think at one point, like, she pulls out a gun. There's one point where like their kid is brought up and stuff. So I think it could almost be about her like being painted as like this crazy woman or like this bad woman to either maybe his friends or to the public. Maybe she feels like she's being painted as this like, I guess I'm literally just explaining Mad Woman, but I think it will probably be more in a relationship context of like, you're making like everyone think of me as a burden to you, like why do you do that, or like a fight, or maybe it would be about a fight they had in front of like a group of people, or her feeling like they are fighting in front of the world or something. Number 11 is I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can't. Now, is that no really I can't as in I can fix him, no really I can, or I can fix him, no really I can? I feel like it could go either way. I think this is pretty like obvious, like, oh, it's probably about her convincing herself she can save a guy, and maybe for a little bit she succeeds in that, like she does save it, but it never like it really helps. Like, it only helps for a little bit. She only can fix it for so long, and then it breaks again. But she just keeps on like reconvincing herself, like, no, I could fix it last time. I fixed it last time. I keep doing it. I keep doing it. And it becomes a cycle. I think it could also, and I feel like this probably won't be it, but I want to make sure I get all my freaking theories out there, so maybe I can be right about like one at least. It could be about her thinking she can fix a guy, or thinking she is fixing a guy, but then another girl comes into the picture, and she is like, you couldn't save him, but I can. So I think that like is like I can save him, no really I can. Is that two different girls where it's like she thinks she's saving this guy, but like really he has another girl who actually is. Or like I think of like the kind of trope of like in songs of like you dating a guy and like you kind of teach him to be a better man, but he like still sucks to you, but you kind of like teach him, and then you guys break up, and then he gets into a new relationship, and he's like great in that relationship, and he's like super like good, like he's a great person to that girl, always shows up and stuff, and you're like, you couldn't do that for me, but you could do that for her and stuff. So it's like, yeah. Also, I don't want to say this, but we have to bring up that this song could also be about Ratty Redacted, that thing that happened in like May, but of like everyone being like, dude, what the fuck, girl, what the fuck are you doing with him, and her being like, no, like I can fix him, like da-da. I hope not, but I had to put that out there too. Next is LOML, Love of My Life, usually is what that stands for, but I don't really feel like that's what it's gonna stand for in this song, most likely. I feel like she's gonna change it, and LOML is gonna stand for something else, like losing only makes love, or I don't know, that was so stupid, but like I feel like she could change it, and LOML turn into meaning something else. I also think it could possibly be a song about the fans, like how like the fans are the love of her life. I don't know. Number 13 is I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. I'm so excited for this one. I don't think this is gonna be a big like pop banger album. Like I don't think this is gonna be like Midnight's or 1989. But if it is, I know I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. It's gonna like bop. Like I see like Is It Over Now vibes from it if this is a pop album. I think this song has so many different things that it could be about. I think it could be about her getting through a performance with a broken heart, putting on a show for everybody, figuratively and literally putting on a show even with a broken heart. It could also be about her feeling like she still loves someone after they broke her heart. Like, I can still love you even though you broke my heart, I still love you. I also immediately thought of the lyric by Alicia Keys, have you ever tried sleeping with a broken heart? Well, you can try sleeping in my bed. That's just what popped into my head. I also could see the song being so sensual and being like more like I can do it with a broken heart. Like I can be passionate and sensual even with a broken heart. But I'm leaning more towards the like I can put on a show and like even with a broken heart. Next, number 14, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. People are cracking up at this song title. I feel like this song is gonna be about her feeling kind of like realizing, I guess, like where other songs I said I think we're gonna be about her being in denial about the relationship or being like, no, you guys are. I think this might be the realizing song where it's like, oh yeah, like he was like wrong for that, or he was so insecure, whatever. Cause I could be it being like her being told she's outshining someone and her feeling like that has nothing to do with her. Feeling like she shouldn't have to feel bad for that, like for being more famous or getting more attention or something. I think it could be about men with fragile ego, how like up in arms men get about the smallest thing, and they, I also haven't seen this brought up at all, but like the possibility that this could be about like Scooter or Scott Borchetta it's unlikely, but there's never a 0% chance that she's not done, because she's still in the process of re-recording all her songs, and I genuinely think it's something like, I'm sure she has fun with it, but like that's a big task, and so I think she's probably still a little bit upset about that. So I feel like this song could also maybe be about that situation. Number 15 is The Alchemy, and when I tell you, I have no idea. Like, my mind immediately draws a blank. I immediately just am like, think of like, Ask Me Why So Many Fade, but I'm still here. I feel like it could be like, she's golden, like she's always like reborn. I think alchemy is like turning metal into gold or something. I don't know. I'm not that type of smart, but I could see it be something like that, where like almost being like reborn and like how she says like in You're Losing Me, she says like, Phoenix always rising from the ashes, you might have dealt the final blow. I think this could be her realizing that like, no, that wasn't the final blow. Like, I am a phoenix, like turning metal into gold, turning like into something about turning my pain into something valuable and stuff. Maybe how her turning her pain into music has been held against her, or made villainized her or something. But like I could see it like that, like turning my pain into gold. I am gold, and I am like that. I'm that girl, I guess. Number 16 is Clara Bow. I don't know if it's Clara Bow or Clara Bow. I think it's Clara. But anyway, Clara Bow. I like Clara better, so I'm just gonna say Clara. It was a silent film actress, and she had like a very tumultuous life. There's a lot of backstory. There's a lot of similarities between what people think, because we don't know for sure yet, think happened between Taylor and her last relationship and Clara and her marriage and stuff, and like being hidden, giving up fame and all that. And I think this song could be about her not wanting to be someone's Clara Bow. Like, I'm not your Clara Bow, like I'm not silent, because again, silent film actress. I think it has to be something. Like, I think this album's gonna be about her being like silenced in a relationship, or feeling like she can't be herself in a relationship, like truly. And I think that's gonna be about it. And I think it could be about her being like, I'm the it girl, but I'm not your Clara Bow, like maybe something like that. It could also just straight up be her telling Clara Bow's story in the way of like The Last Great American Dynasty, and just telling Clara Bow's whole story. Not whole story, but like parts, and then at the end and be like, and then you did this exact same thing to me. It could be something like that, like the switch, which is another very country trope. It's a like switch. But yeah, because Clara Bow was known as the it girl. She was the first it girl, and of course Taylor Swift has been like the it girl for like over like a decade by now. Number 17, the bonus track, The Manuscript. This track title literally gives nothing. This could literally be about anything, because the manuscript is literally like writing a script. I think it could be about her though, like rewriting her story, or wanting to rewrite her story, or it could be her rewriting her love story, like believing in love again after heartbreak, kind of like the begin again, and her like rewriting her story. My niece said that she thinks that it might be about her writing her first song, which who knows, like it could be about her career, and kind of how like from Hamilton, the song like I Wrote My Way Out, could be something like that. Like wrote through all my pain. I did all this by writing and stuff, and maybe alluding to like a movie and stuff. Those are my guesses for the track list. I also want to mention this because again, we know the track list was leaked and that's why we got it, which sucks. I'm sure Taylor Swift had a cool way she wanted to reveal the track list to her, and also now we just have to sit here for the next 2 months with these track titles, and that's gonna be kind of hard. But on the leaked thing, like the thing that was leaked, like the TikTok comment, the manuscript wasn't on there, but the bolter was, which makes me think we might be getting more bonus tracks. So if there is a bonus track called The Bolter, I just want to say that I think it could be about a girl who runs from relationships and is known for running from relationships, because I looked it up and there was like, I don't know if it was I think it was a real story about a lady who, like, back in the day when this was really not like cool, like obviously like you shouldn't just dip on your kids and shit, but it was like real, especially with a woman in a marriage, because it's like about this girl who just like dipped on her marriage, like she just left one day her marriage and her kids, and I think she went and like married some like random man, but she just, and then so like a whole book was written and stuff about like girls who like run from relationships and stuff. So I think that if that song does exist, if that is a song, that might be what it's about. Now I want to get into some of my other guesses that I've had in the past week since we found out about the album. One is the Karma video. In the Karma video, at the very end, the last scene where she has the cup of coffee and she's walking to the piano, that was most definitely an Easter egg for this album. And when she's holding it, because everyone thought we were getting Reputation, because she has the blue nail and then she has the black nail, so everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be 1989 and then Rep. But in the middle, the coffee cup, it's brown coffee, tan coffee, and then the foam is white. And this album is her white album. It went blue, white, black, like an Easter egg. And then on it, her, like, everyone was talking about her fingers, how like her black nail was on the like 2 and her blue nail was on the 8. I think that was a hint towards her announcing the album in February, and she talked about at her first like Tokyo show about how if she didn't announce it at the Grammy, like if she didn't win the Grammy to announce it, she would have announced it at the Tokyo shows. One of the Tokyo shows was on February 8th, so I think she would have announced it on February 8th at the Tokyo show. But like, isn't that like crazy? And then she's walking to the piano, which I think also tells me that we are gonna have a sound switch. Like, I do not think this is gonna be a bombastic pop album. I don't know if I necessarily think it's going to be a Folklore Evermore slow, every song is slow type of album, but I definitely don't think we're getting a big pop record. I don't think we're getting on the Midnights or 1989. I think sound wise, I think if it is pop, I think we might get a soft pop album. Like, it's still pop but more of a slower pop. I did see some people saying that they saw that it's gonna be synth pop. We have no confirmation of that as of right now. Watch right after I film this video, it's gonna pop up on like Apple Music or something, but as of right now we have no confirmation. Also, I think she might have worked with Ryan Tedder for this album because he liked the Instagram post of the album. He didn't like any of her past like Instagram posts for like Midnights or anything for the announcement, but he knows how to make slow songs. I definitely think we're probably gonna get Aaron Dessner back. We're definitely gonna have Jack. I really would hope this song, there's a part of me, I just really want this album to be a completely self-written album so badly. So I keep hitting myself in the face, but I don't think we're gonna get that. But I would love if this was a self-written album. Like, if this was all self-written, it would be amazing. Especially because like poetry is something that's so personal. Like rarely does a poem have like multiple writers, right? Like think about it. Like you don't see like a poem and then it's like by this person, this person, this person. It's usually one person. So I feel like it would make sense that if you taking all these albums as poems, they would be written solely by her, because poems are just such a personal thing. But I kind of think it probably won't be, because she's only ever had one self-written album. But I mean, you never know. Like, she was on tour. Like, I feel like she was alone. Also, cause she said she worked on this album while she was on tour, like through the US tour. And obviously, for the most part, other than a couple dates that like Duncan Antonoff and Aaron Dessner went to, she was like not with her. Like, they weren't with her on the tour. She obviously worked on this album in 2022 also, because she said so, but she worked on it in 2023. So I feel like she was alone writing for a lot of this album. But anyway, so I think we might get like a soft pop album, indie pop album. Next is poetry book. One of the merch items for this is a bookmark. And at the end of the all 2minute version, she had a book. She had written a book. What are the odds that we get a poetry book to go with this album? Like, you know how she had the Reputation magazines where it had all the lyrics? I feel like we might end up getting like maybe like a songwriting book or something, or a poetry book where all the songs are written out as if they are poems at least. But like, also like when she announced the album, she was like, I've been keeping for you for 2 years. And then she performed in Tokyo the first night, and I don't know what context it was, but she put up the 2 again. And I'm just like, what does that mean? Because I think about when she posted a picture of her and Jack in the studio one time last year. I think she posted it. Maybe, I don't know. I'll put a post here if I can find it. Put the picture, but of them like holding, like Taylor's holding up a tin, and or something, and Jack's holding up like 10 hands, 10 fingers, and then she's holding up a 1, because I think it was about them going number. I think it might have been about Cruel Summer going number 1. I don't know. I'll put the Instagram post here. But they have 11 hands up, and they were most likely in there working on TS11. So like, I take her hand numbers into account. So she was like 2. I think it means something. I don't want to say a double album, because I feel like that would be a lot, because this album already has 17, maybe 18 songs on it. So I don't want to like be like, we're gonna get 2, it's gonna be 2. But it's weird, and it kind of makes me think that maybe the other thing could be a book. I also saw the possibility that this could be a visual album. I don't think it will be, purely because I don't feel like she would have had the time to film and direct but who knows, if it's like a really short film that's very minimal. But you know what, she loves those elaborate videos, so I don't feel like it will be. I feel like if anything, whether a visual album or a book, I would bet on a book. But that's just another theory. Also, another thing that I noticed when Taylor and Lana walked the carpet together, Taylor was in white and Lana was in black. And my mind immediately went to wedding and funeral. And I kind of feel like that might be a thing. I feel like she got Lana in on the, like, Easter egging. I feel like she told Lana, like, can you wear black? Why? Can you just wear black for this thing? So I'm thinking also maybe in this album there's gonna be, like, we went from, like, a wedding, this white wedding, to a black funeral, and, like, wearing black at a funeral. And I think we might get something like that, and I feel like that was kind of an Easter egg. I also think that this album might be in order of events. I think it might start with the falling and then end with almost like where she is now. And that something that helps that point is the fact that the album is cut up in side A, side B, side C, side D. Which when I first saw that, I didn't put too much into it because Midnight's was also cut up into side A and side B, and I still don't get if there's any, like, difference between the two. I think that this album might actually, cause I feel like this might be more of a concept album, more than her other ones. So what I think with that though is I think side A will be side A songs, like the first 4 songs will be her talking about her seeing cracks in the relationship but still staying in it. So her seeing the problems in the relationship but being like, it's fine. And then I think side B is going to be them deciding to take a break from each other, like not an official breakup, but then being like, let's take some time apart, and she goes on tour, because side B I think ends with the song Florida, so that would also go with my point of that song being about her performing her first concert after the breakup was announced. So I think side B is gonna be like them deciding to take a break and like just separating, and then the end of that section is going to be like them officially broken up. Like I think side C will be a fight and the official breakup where she was like, there's no chance we're getting back together. And then I think side D will be the reminiscing and the gaining confidence. It's going to be her realizing and reflecting on what that relationship was, and then her gaining more confidence towards the end to go on another date or to start dating again or whatever. Those are some of my guesses. Also, with the Bolter thing and how I think the Bolter is another bonus track, I think that I might, if you watch my last video of me reacting to the me talking about the announcement of the album and stuff, I said that I think that in the on the CD it says file name the manuscript, and it makes me think that if she does have more bonus tracks, that it will be a thing of like multiple covers and multiple CDs, and you have to get, if you want the bonus tracks, you have to get each CD, hopefully it's just these 2 songs, but each CD, each cover has a different bonus track, kind of like Olivia did with the Guts deluxe songs, where each vinyl had a different song on it, which I think personally is so fucking stupid, but you know, they need to make money, they need sales. Yeah, so those were just my guesses and me going through the track list. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm super excited for the album. If you have any more questions you want to ask me for some reason about the album or my thoughts on, just leave them down below. Make sure you subscribe because I have a lot more content about this album coming, I'm sure. This is all I can think about. It's all I'm gonna be thinking about for the next 2 months. I really wanted to do sound, like what I think each song will like be like, but I don't, unless we get like a track like before, I don't know if I'd be able to really think about that, because we still have no idea what this album's even gonna sound like. But anyway, hope you guys like that. I will see you guys later, and I hope you guys stick around. Bye.